days late, but on Wednesday it was officially announced that Quentin Tarantino has abandoned his next film, The Movie Critic. Now, as a point of reference, Quentin Tarantino very publicly stated that he was only going to make one more film, that it would be his 10th film and it would be his last film. So a whole lot of eyes were paying attention to whatever he was doing next. People are always paying attention to what Quentin Tarantino is working on because obviously he is one of the great directors of the last 30 years. But when you add to that, on top of being one of the best current working directors, him saying, my next movie is my last movie, it just puts so much extra weight on the project. And for a couple years now, he's been talking about how his final film would be this movie called The Movie Critic. And in fact, I mean, he started to make some progress on things to where Brad Pitt was attached to star in the film. He had a $20 million tax subsidy to film in California. And kind of what we knew about it at some point in time, Tarantino had said the 1977 set film was about a small-time movie critic who wrote smart reviews for a porn magazine. There was some speculation that perhaps Brad Pitt was playing his Cliff character from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, some sort of follow-up, but we didn't really know a whole lot about the film. There was a little bit of speculation, and then pretty much out of the blue, no warning whatsoever, he said, no, I'm canceling it. And in fact said, sources say he won't be looking to rewrite the script or revive the project, instead making plans to move on to something new. So this deal is entirely dead, and something else will be his 10th and final film. So what do I make of all of this? I mean, my first gut reaction is that it feels like by so publicly stating that he's done when he comes to his 10th film, I think that he put kind of this weight on his shoulders, or on the weight of whatever the next project he's working on shoulders, to where it's very easy to get into that paralysis of analysis, overthinking everything. And if it's going to be the end, if this is the bookend, if this is closing everything out, it has to be utterly perfect. It has to end on a high note. And it's very easy to just kind of get lost in your own head when you put that much weight on a project. And so that's my gut reaction thinking of all of this. Beyond that, perhaps maybe he's rethinking this whole, like, I've only want to do one more film, but I mean, he was talking about doing a Star Trek movie for a little bit. And pitched this whole idea of a piece of the action and all the stuff that he was going to do. And then, of course, he spent years working on this film, and it almost was about to happen. And then you think if you're going to close out his career, you maybe would want to like bookend it a little bit, kind of returning to the crime genre from the 90s that he spent so much time in that world. You think Quentin Tarantino probably has more than just one more movie that he wants. Maybe he's rethinking that. I don't know. But the idea of The Movie Critic, that didn't, even as a movie critic, didn't immediately scream to me like, man, that's how I want to close his career out. I mean, I trust the guy. Whatever he's going to do, he'll have an interesting perspective on it. Good, bad, whatever it is, it'll be interesting. He will bring his set of skills to the subject. So I'm curious. But I don't know. When you have a director like this making such a definitive statement, I'm only doing one more, that's inherently fascinating. And you're curious about it. And you have like, what was this movie? Why did it fall apart? Why did he spend so much time on it? And what was it that made him go, no, I'm pulling the plug. It's done. I'm not even going to try and rework it. It's just done. What was that? We're all curious, like, what is that? But obviously, I'm on the lookout. What is going to be next? What is that? What is he going to close out his directorial career with? Or is he going to abandon that whole thing that he said about only doing one more film? Will he move on to television now that television is kind of in this golden era of, there's so much creative freedom on television now? Is that, I don't know. But I'm curious about it, and really want to know what went down with The Movie Critic, that he loved the idea so much for so long, and then so suddenly it just fell apart. the way that it did. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section, and keep talking movies and TV too much.